Alright, in this video, I'm going to talk about the inability to relax and just be. Now, this is one of my biggest weaknesses, insecurities, and flaws, and that's why I want to share some lessons that I've learned, and I know that a lot of other people struggle with this. Now, this has to do with the fact that I would call myself a workaholic. I think that I work too much. It's obviously different that having to run your own business, you don't have the same luxury of having, say, a 9 to 5 schedule. You have to oftentimes do more work, especially at the beginning, to build the foundation, especially if you're doing it all by yourself like I am. Now, I don't want any sympathy or any pity. That's just the way it is, and that's the path that I've chosen. But what's come along with this is that I've kind of developed this workaholic attitude, this kind of hustle culture mindset, this toxic hustle culture mindset that I've seen from a lot of people in society, these Gary Vee type people. And it's good for motivation, it's good for some things, but it's not good when you are unable to just relax and detach from your work mentally, physically, and emotionally, and spiritually, and just be, and just breathe, and just be. And I really see this projected out into the majority of our society. Now, some people don't have the luxury to be able to detach from their work. Some people actually basically the requirements of their job are being there 80 to 90 hours a week. I don't think I work that much yet. I'm probably around 60 to 70 per week, but I still have, even when I'm not working, I'm always thinking about things that I could be doing or things that I should have been doing better or ways that I could be more productive. And I'm realizing that one of the root causes of this is that this is really fear-based. This is an insecurity. This is fear-based. But what is it that I'm fearing? Is it that I'm fearing being unsuccessful? Because I don't think that the definition of success is being productive every single second of every single day. So what am I really fearing? Am I fearing this alone time with myself? Am I fearing just not doing anything and having to actually introspect? Because I'm not sure if that's it, because I kind of do that a lot. Am I fearing just meditating and doing nothing and sitting back and relaxing and just being? I don't know. Let me know if you're kind of the same personality, that you're unable to just relax and just be and just breathe and just take it all in. Because I really noticed that I'm starting to, maybe it's just that all of society is starting to accelerate and everything's starting to go more fast or faster, but I'm starting to go faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. And I feel like I just need to take a step back and slow down and take a deep breath. I think that's a pretty good lesson. I think we all need to, at a certain point, take a giant step back, take a giant deep breath in, and let it go, and take that deep breath out. I think that not just is it better for my mental health, I'm not saying my mental health is bad. My mental health was definitely a lot worse in the past, and I know that there are some things that you kind of have to sacrifice if you want to make your dreams come true. Not even cliche, if you want to start a business and not work for somebody else, there are some kind of sacrifices, and maybe some sacrifices are this free time or this time of just relaxing and just being. But I also know that that's a limiting belief. That is not a healthy mindset to take, because there is always time that you'll be able to take and just relax and detach and just be. Because if you're not doing that, if you're working 24/7, then what's even the point of it? If you're not getting any sleep, if you're not taking care of yourself, I think one of the most important things that I'm learning just from this rant is that I need to focus on, first, on the essentials, on the survival essentials, getting enough rest, maintaining my mental health, making a little bit of money, but I guess I'm not making money at the moment, and eating healthy food, putting good stuff in my system. And I know that if I get everything done, I really think I might just have to create like more of a concrete schedule, because I've been setting my own schedule and I'm happy with how productive I've been. I'm happy with how much I'm getting done. But at the same time, I think that if I start to set a concrete schedule, I can schedule in some breaks. I can schedule in some rest, some time to just relax and detach and just be. We're all obsessed with doing. In our society, especially in America, I'll always talk about this. We're so obsessed with doing. We're obsessed with progress. We're obsessed with advancement and innovation and achievement. And these things are great. I love this stuff. I'm kind of addicted to it. That's why I publish my books. That's why I make all this poetry. Also for just self-expression. But we're addicted to being productive. And I realize after a certain point that to survive in society, especially today, you have to be productive. You have to be adding value in some way, shape, or form. And that value is usually through work, and it's usually through doing stuff. But on the opposite end of the spectrum of doing, there's non-doing. And we've kind of thought of non-doing as being lazy. But non-doing is not like sitting and watching TV. That's still doing something. Non-doing isn't sitting on your phone and scrolling through social media and TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and watching videos and stuff. That's still doing something. Non-doing is literally just sitting and meditating, or sitting and doing yoga and really introspecting. But again, even doing yoga is something that is kind of exercise. But I guess in the non-traditional sense, in the part that I'm kind of talking about in this video, it could even just be going to the gym and exercising. But again, some people, I guess that is still doing something. That's not just relaxing and detaching and just being. But I guess some people do find relaxation in exercise, and I'm one of those people. Some people do find relaxation in writing poetry, writing comedy, writing jokes. I guess that is me as well. Or some people find relaxation in just talking on camera. I don't really view this as being work, but I also don't think that this is relaxing, because it's kind of keeping me on my edge, kind of keeping me in the zone of genius, keeping me pushing my comfort zone. This is really hard for me. You can probably tell. This is pretty hard for me to just talk on camera, to just rant. And I know that the more I produce during the day and the more productive I am, the more I feel like I'm able to rest at night. And maybe that's good. Maybe it's good that I'm starting off this journey on a really hyper-productive level so that I'm able to tone it down. But I'm also making this video to check myself along the path and just be like, hey, buddy, are you okay? You're not really taking as many breaks as you should be. Maybe you just worked an hour and a half. Maybe sit and rest for 10 minutes. Maybe do a little standing meditation. Maybe just do a 5-minute meditation. Just breathe, or maybe eat an apple. Some way to just rest and relax and detach. Maybe just talk with my family. But I've noticed that my go-to relaxation, my go-to detachment has been going on social media. And I realize that that cannot happen because social media is part of the work that I'm doing. It's the posting of it, but I don't really want to be a consumer. I can't go back to that life. I just cannot fathom going back to that life of being a mindless scroller on social media, because that was me 4 years ago when I was going through depression, always just wondering what other people were doing. No, it's not even like selfish. Like, I just don't care as much about what other people are doing because I'm so focused on my mission. I'm so focused on Conscious Money School, on teaching people financial literacy through comedy, through consciousness. That is my mission. That is my purpose, at least right now, at this moment, for this next 6 months to 12 months, or maybe even 2 years, putting my head down, putting in this work, and trying to provide as much value to people as possible. And I know that if I can fuse my work, fuse my doing with non-doing, with the power of source, with the power of non-doing, I know that that will make my work even more productive. So I think the approach that I have to take is that working 16 hours a day, you're not going to be as productive as, say, if you work 10 to 12 hours a day and meditate for 30 minutes to an hour during the day. If I'm able to mix this doing with non-doing, if I'm able to mix the ego with spirit, the productivity with the non-productivity, and again, the non-productivity, I don't just mean watching TV or scrolling through social media. That is anti-productivity. I'm just talking about non-neutral, just meditating, sitting, being. And even I could argue that for my work specifically, that meditating is not just neutral, non-productive. It's actually being productive, because part of the work for Conscious Money School, if I don't raise my consciousness, if I don't truly embody it as a teacher and as an educator and as an entertainer, then it's not really a conscious business. It's not really Conscious Money School if I'm still in my unconscious patterns. So I guess a lot of the work is really me working on myself. Wow. I guess a lot of the work is really me working on myself, but I don't view that as work. So is it work? So are we always working? Now I'm starting to think that no matter what you do, you can't really escape work. Because if you think about it on a certain level, everything is work. What is work other than just doing? Work doesn't have to be something for money. If you're playing with your friends, that's still work. You're still doing something. Oh gosh. The inability to just relax and just be and just breathe and detach from it all. Do you have the same struggle? Do you have the same weakness or insecurity? I'm glad I was able to use this spot to just vent a little and share my thoughts on it, because this has really helped me a lot. This has really helped me realize that slowing down my pace could actually be a good thing, taking a more bigger picture, broader view approach, which is what I used to do. Kind of fell off that a little. But yeah, I enjoyed that.